See, people talk about they are gods, you know what I'm saying? They are gods, but they're really farm animals, you know what I'm saying? See, the animals, for example, in the animal kingdom, they're gods. But when they're domesticated by fucking humans, they're no kings anymore. They're not part of the animal kingdom. They're part of your farm. You get what I'm saying? Farm animals get fed what the farmer gives them. So you ain't part of your kingdom because you're here in this realm and you need to eat what you need to eat to stay alive. You hear what I'm saying? You're not in the wild, or you're not out of this realm. So you have to eat to sustain your life here, right? So if you were a god, you wouldn't need to eat. But you know what gods eat? Gods eat off of you saying you're God. They don't care that you walk around saying you're God. They're eating right off of you. But you're nothing but a farm animal. You know what I'm saying? You're a farm animal because you're eating. And not only do you eat, you overeat too. God, Superman, you don't see Superman eating, right? Do you notice you saw the movie of Superman and you see so many depictions of how he looks like Jesus Christ? That's where I get to the point where that is the virus. And he needed to be subdued. Batman and Superman, man, I saw Superman with all those powers, but Batman beat the fuck out of him in that movie, right? Where he was about to kill him, but the fucking chick had to come and save his life. And if you look at this meme, the Mayan Jim put it out, and there was a meme going around, and it talks about, you know, they closed down, it was an economic crisis, they shut down businesses, shut down pretty much everything, all due to a bat. Matter of fact, I'll just read it. Fuck. I'll just read it for you right now. I'll read it for you right now. This meme was pretty cool in my opinion. Okay, very, very cool meme. I hate to have you guys waiting, but then again, I don't. All right, check this out. Wore a mask, locked down a city, canceled sporting events. Root of the problem was a bat. So, I mean, all these things they connect dots. You know what I'm saying? They're connecting dots. You know what I'm saying? You are what you eat. All right. So if you're eating genetically modified shit, then you're not natural. You're not in tune with nature. Nature is natural, but nature is also neutral. Nature don't give a... See, nature... So this is how the thing is. Your body is natural, and it is part of nature, and nature doesn't need humans. But humans really don't need any of this shit out here that's unnatural. You get what I'm saying? But we're led to believe we need all the shit that's unnatural. So, you're not really God. You get what I'm saying? See, you want to be here. So, you downgrade your position as a God to have this experience. For whatever reasons you have. Right? And you give something up for something else. You give up that position of power for this experience. Why? It leads me to believe that what happened to me in my life. See, I was making a lot of money, man. And I'm talking about a lot of money where I had a few streams of income. Some legal, some not. I'll say the truth. I really don't care. But I had a lot of physical things that I wanted. And anything I really wanted, I bought. I never really was the type of person that looked at price tags. I bought what I liked and I bought it. I didn't give a fuck. But then look where I'm at now. See, I went through that phase in my life where I had it all. And I had so many girls at one point that my uncle was actually staying in my place for a little while. And he told me this looked like a whorehouse. Now, do I go back and say, man, I miss those days? Nah, man. Because let me tell you something. When I left my job as a market manager for Core Jensen Labs, all right, under the company name Performix, I was offered a position back to GNC as a regional sales director. And I was actually offered a position in multiple supplement companies as a market manager, the same company that I was working for before under Core Jensen Labs. Now, as a market manager, I was running all the GNC's vitamin shops. I was even running international. And you can look at my Instagram. I was presenting in front of thousands of people. You know what I'm saying? I was traveling all over the United States. I was good. And before that, I was still making a lot of money because I was a bartender. And man, I'll tell you right now, I was making a lot of money as a bartender, man. I was always in shape. I was doing a lot of traveling, walked around without a shirt, got a lot of girls. You know what I'm saying? I was living very, very good. I was feeling good. And I started going through this awakening thing, and none of that shit started to matter anymore. It didn't matter anymore, to the point that I rejected. Anybody that sees this fucking video will know I rejected my positions as a market manager for any other company, and I rejected my position as a regional sales director for GNC. You know why? Because I did not want to put all of my time and energy into something that what was missing now is the passion. Because when I worked for the supplement company, the passion was strong, the same way my passion for this is now. And the thing is that when my passion started diminishing, my job left me. I got laid off, but the company took a downfall too. But I was one of the last ones to get let go. But I had excellent credentials, a good record, meaning I was the #1 market manager. I was the most successful fucking dude in the company. So I was offered positions in other companies, the competition basically, because they knew that I was the one that was hurting everybody else based on my performance. So when they heard that I got laid off, they wanted to snatch me into their company. Passion's not there anymore. But I also decided to take a downgrade to put my time now into other things that matter to me now. Because if I put all my time and energy into that, even on my days off, I would still have to work. Because even on my days off, there were times that I was still scheduling my demo reps, which I had a team of like 15 all over the boroughs. So I stepped my position down. Now to realize my power. But it kind of led me to believe that it's the same thing that happened. As a God, you step your position down to realize what you are. Through the opposition and through the limitations, you realize what you are. But you do it from an unconditional space and a neutral space. See, love is the highest frequency. Okay? But that love frequency is misunderstood because it really comes down to letting go. And a lot of people think this is, they're attached to this as if this is what they are. You're using this. This is an instrument for you to level up and upgrade. I could have went back and made a hell of a lot more money, but that's not what I wanted to do. So I stepped down to making a hell of a lot less money, but I also moved from an expensive state to a different state down here in the South to be able to sustain myself without having to pay. See, here's the illusion too. I was making all that money, and then yet now I'm making less money, but my bills are so short that I actually have more money now making less money than I did when I had all that money. You know what I'm saying? It was more like I had to hustle. I had to maintain all that. But my energy was going into nothing of what I even talk about now. Absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was just to maintain, my car. I had 3 cars. I had a bike. And then I also had, my place that was completely hooked up with. I had TVs everywhere. I had mirrors in my ceiling. I mean, it was fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? But the shit doesn't matter to me now. You know what I'm saying? And when I say matter, it doesn't matter. These certain material luxury things, it's an illusion. When I use the analogy of like, look at the value. Certain people, a YouTuber with a few more followers, gives you attention, and all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, it's an honor. Fuck that, bro. What's the difference between a YouTuber with all those fucking followers than me? And the same reason why I say this is because I mentioned this in my previous video. See, I happen to have much appreciation for somebody like, for example, Dolo the Pilot Man put out videos on the coronavirus, but in such a way that would challenge somebody with a degree, such as doctors, scientists, and all that. But what's the difference? You know what I'm saying? A doctor is not a healer. He's a licensed practitioner. Okay? So he has a license to practice medicine. So he specialized in something the system taught him to specialize in. To not heal you, but basically cut the check engine lights on you to just make you think you feel better, but you don't really feel better. It's kind of like if I give you a cortisol shot into your joint, if you have some major arthritis there, it's going to feel numb. You're going to think that it healed you, but it didn't. It's just numb. When that fucking anesthesia wears off, you're fucked because you moved in positions that aggravated it even more. So, unless you realize that you're still a farm animal, you're going to eat like a god. Gods eat very, very differently than what you think you're eating. And they don't entertain the shit that you think you're entertaining, man. The shit you entertain ain't what gods entertain. There's people who come out here and say, yeah, and they still look up to certain energies, and it's not to look up to, it's a level of respect. It's a respect thing. It's a respect that when you come out with an ego saying you're God, you know what I'm saying? That's where I don't want to say it's wrong, but it's I wouldn't go about it that way. It's respect. As within, so without. How do you treat people outside of you is how you treat others as you would want to be treated. It's the same shit. But you don't treat others with the interest of wanting to get something out of them. You treat others with respect and love unconditionally. That's how you treat things in the metaphysical. The same shit. That's why I appreciate the physical. It's a blueprint to what you should be doing within. And you give. You ask and you shall receive. But don't forget, the way you are determines what you receive. And you will perceive according to your state of being. Take this information for what it is. Like I told you before in many videos, these are journals for me. The shit that I hear from certain people, power yourself up and you're going to have a real strong gut feeling on how things sit with you. You get what I'm saying? That's the important thing. Everything out here is in your head. So if you're affecting things out here, you're really affecting things for you, but you're also infecting. You want things perfect.